I ran the numbers for a couple's retirement without changing their lifestyle at all. They would actually run out of money by age 74. But when I added two specific strategies to their plan, they ended up with an estimated estate worth over $362 million. Let me show you exactly how that happened. This couple is 62 years old. They are retiring right now. And on paper, they look like they're just doing great. They have over $1.27 million in liquid assets, more than $1.6 million in home equity, and a combined Social Security income of nearly $6,500 a month. Most financial advisors would look at this and say they're doing just great. But when you actually run the numbers out to age 90 with 3% inflation, the picture gets a lot more uncomfortable, a lot faster than you would expect. So I'm going to do is walk you through this step by step, because what this couple situation reveals and applies to a lot of people sitting in homes worth $1 million or more right now. So here's the starting point. This couple has Social Security bringing in $3,785 from one spouse, $2,650 from the other, for a total of $6,435 a month in guaranteed income. They have a stock portfolio of $789,000, a traditional IRA of $361,000, a Roth IRA of $122,000. So their total liquid amount is $1.27 million. They're spending about $18,000 a month, which sounds like a lot. But remember, they have a $1.9 million home and a lifestyle that reflects it. The problem is simple. Their income does not cover their spending. So they're pulling from the portfolio every single month, and with a 3% inflation eating away at their purchasing power every single year. The math catches up fast. When I run the scenario straight through with no changes, the portfolio is completely exhausted by age 74. That is 16 years into retirement. They plan to run for 28 years. Now let's talk about what a reverse mortgage actually does in this picture. Because the first thing it does is not what most people expect. It is not about getting money out of your house. The first thing it does is eliminate their $2,300 per month mortgage payment entirely. That is money that stops leaving their account every single month immediately. On top of that, based on their age, home value, and existing mortgage balance, they qualify for a reverse mortgage line of credit of $584,250. This line of credit is not a HELOC. The bank cannot freeze it, cannot reduce it, and it actually grows over time. So the longer you don't touch it, the bigger it gets. So here's how we use it. Instead of drawing as much from the investment portfolio in retirement, what we do is we draw about $3,500 per month from the reverse mortgage line of credit from age 62 to age 78. That takes the pressure off the portfolio and lets those investments keep growing. When I run this version of the plan, the portfolio lasts until age 79 instead of 74, and we still have a problem. So we need one more layer. Here's where the strategy gets really interesting. And I want to be straightforward with you. This is the part that surprises people the most. We allocate 8% of the total investment portfolio, which amounts to about $89,000, and move it into Bitcoin held in cold storage as a long-term asset. At today's prices, it buys $89,000, which is approximately 1.37 Bitcoin. Now, I'm not here to tell you Bitcoin is a sure thing or give you financial advice. Nothing is. But what I can show you is what happens when you apply the Bitcoin Power Law growth model, a mathematical framework based on Bitcoin's historical price behavior. Using a conservative interpretation of that model, the compound annual growth rate is approximately 35% over this time horizon. I know that number sounds aggressive, and I understand the skepticism, but stay with me for a second because the math is about to get very hard to ignore. So let's fast forward to age 78. The reverse mortgage line of credit is now at zero. It has been fully drawn down for those 16 years. The investment portfolio has shrunk to about $99,443. On the surface, that looks like a problem. But here is what else has happened in the background. That $89,000 Bitcoin position, the 1.37 Bitcoin they set aside at age 62, has now grown approximately $10.7 million at age 78. Their 1.37 Bitcoin is now worth nearly $11 million. And this is the part where the math it completely changes the conversation. At age 78, they start withdrawing $20,000 per month from their Bitcoin holdings to cover living expenses. That is $240,000 a year coming out. But because the remaining Bitcoin continues to compound at the same growth rate, the withdrawals do not come close to keeping pace. By age 90, when they end the plan, their estimated Bitcoin estate value is approximately $361.98 million. Their investment portfolio still has about $182,000 remaining, and their home, which they never had to sell, still could have some equity on top of that. Here's what I want you to take away from this. The traditional retirement model is a countdown clock. You have a pile of money, then spend it down, hoping you do not outlive it. The perpetual retirement model is different. The goal is to build a system in which your income sources and growth assets work together so no single bucket is overstressed and growth continues even while you're spending. In this example, Social Security provides the base income. The reverse mortgage line of credit acts as a buffer in the early years, protecting the portfolio from depletion during normal spending. The investment portfolio gets to breathe and keep growing, and Bitcoin, sitting in the background, compounds at a rate that other assets simply cannot match over the long time horizons. When you layer those three things together, you stop depleting your wealth and you actually start building it even in retirement. That is what perpetual retirement actually means. It is not a fantasy, it's a structure. I can already hear some of you saying, okay, Tane, 35% annual Bitcoin growth over 16 years, that is not realistic. And that is a fair thing to push back on. Here's what I will say. The power law model is not a prediction, it's a mathematical framework built on Bitcoin's actual historical behavior across multiple market cycles. And here's the thing. Even if the actual return is significantly lower than 35%, even if it's half of that, the allocation is only 8% of the portfolio. The rest of the strategy, the reverse mortgage, eliminating the mortgage payment, the line of credit protecting the portfolio, the Social Security, base income, all of that still works completely independent of Bitcoin. The Bitcoin layer is the potential upside, everything else is the floor. Look, I'm not telling you this exact plan is right for you. Every situation is different. Home values, Social Security amounts, and spending needs, they're all different. But I'm telling you that if you have significant home equity and have never run the numbers that I just showed you, you might be leaving the most powerful part of your retirement plan completely untouched. The Perpetual Retirement Calculator lets you input all of your own numbers, your home value, your mortgage balance, your portfolio, and your spending, and it will show you what your plan actually looks like with and without these strategies. No sales pitch, no appointment required, just run your own numbers free at perpetualretirement.com. The link is in the description, and if you have any questions, feel free to contact me and be happy to discuss. I'll see you on the next one.